Hi, my name's Andrew, this is my van Morpheus, and today we're going to be doing a DIY install of the MAXXAir MAXXFAN Deluxe to get a cool breeze circulating for van life. For starters, I used a framing square to make a 14 by 14 inch template, sliced it out with a box cutter, positioned it on the ceiling, secured it with painter's tape, and then traced the outline with a pencil. After that, I drilled pilot holes in each corner, connected them with a pencil on the van roof, and then drilled 2 more adjacent pilot holes to widen the openings. FYI, it's a good idea to tape a paper bag under the opening to catch any stray metal shards, but I forgot that part, so oh well. Next, I inserted the jigsaw and cut the first 2 sides, stopping along the way to apply painter's tape to the outside and inside of the van to prevent wobbling, and then repeated the process for the last 2 sides, making sure to hold onto the loose metal as I finished the final cut. Once I confirmed that the MAXXAir flange fit in the opening, I sanded down the rough edges with a die grinder, and then covered them with some rust paint, which I let dry for around 2 hours. While I was waiting, I used a HEPA filter vacuum to get up as much of the metal shards as possible, then swept the rest off with a broom. Later, I came back and manually cranked open the MAXXAir fan, then placed the flange into the opening and traced around it with a pencil. Inside the outline, I laid down some strips of butyl tape, going all the way to the edge and stacking out 3 layers on the left and right side, where the Ford Transit roof curved downward while making sure to fill any gaps. With that done, I placed the flange back into the opening, then drilled some pilot holes and screwed them down, applying pressure gradually and working from side to side until the butyl tape squeezed out and there were no gaps left. Next, I placed the MAXXAir fan inside the flange to check the fit, and then applied a thick coating of lap sealant around the edges of the frame as well as over the screws. After which, I placed the fan back into the flange and screwed it tight. Back inside the fan, I secured the screws with washers and nuts using a wrench, trimmed off some rubber caps, and then covered the sharp ends of the screws. FYI, some people choose to make a wooden frame or buy a plastic adapter, but using nuts is a lot easier and cheaper in my opinion. Later that evening, I covered the fan with a waterproof tarp and tied it down to keep out rain and condensation for a full 3 to 4 days while the adhesive dried, checking for gaps occasionally, and then spraying it with a garden hose on the final day to check for any leaks. Overall, cutting a giant hole in the roof of my van was a bit nerve-wracking, but with some solid planning, the rest of the install was pretty easy. And now with my MAXXFAN, I can move on to placing some vented windows for max airflow. All that said, if you'd like to support the channel, you can shop at the tools list down below, check out my van build playlist for more install videos, or watch my van life day 1 video to see what it's like to move into a Ford Transit for the first time. Finally, if you have a question about the MAXXAir MAXXFAN Deluxe or about van life in general, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, catch you next time, peace!